Hi, this is Derek Murphy. I'm going to talk to you about how to build an author email list with giveaways and content marketing. So we're going to go through a few slides about the way that I've been using book giveaways and content marketing to build a lot of natural organic traffic and build a big email list. They're both, I do a lot of things with book marketing, but those are kind of the two pillars, and those are really the things that I do differently from other authors that have really paid off for me over the past year. So here are basically three secrets. If you don't know who I am, I've been a book cover designer for the last 10 years. I've worked with a lot of best-selling authors, and through that process, I've helped publish about 1,000 books. So I really got to see behind the scenes of a lot of book publishing projects and figure out how they're organizing their launches, which books were successful and which weren't, why not. I learned a lot about publishing, and I basically thought I could probably do it better. So in the last year, my goal has been to stop doing client work and working with authors doing cover design and just to be writing my own book. So here are the three secrets I've kind of discovered that I put to use. The first one is just write books that sell. This is controversial. I know a lot of authors, they don't actually want to write books that sell. They don't like the idea of writing to market, but we'll come back to that in a minute. The next is package them professionally, which is your cover design, it's your blurb, it's how many reviews you have. Everything on your Amazon page is part of your packaging. So when strangers find your book, their entire experience with your book is part of the packaging. And so if you're not positioning your book and telling readers exactly what kind of book this is and what kind of reader it's for, they're not going to know whether or not they're going to like your book, so they'll skip on it. So packaging is really important. And then third, you have to drive traffic and visibility. There's basically two ways people can discover your book. Either they are going onto Amazon or Google and they're searching for things. They're typing like best science fiction for teens or something like that. And if your book comes up and gets in front of them, that's great. Then they find the book, and if everything is going well and your book is packaged really well, it'll convert and they'll buy the book. But if that's not happening, if you don't show up in those natural search results, that means you're going to have to work harder on marketing. And probably that means if you don't have natural traffic, you're going to have to be spending to access other people's platforms, other people's email lists, other people's websites. If you pay for advertising on their sidebar or even Facebook ads or Amazon ads, you need to pay for access unless you have your own platform that's getting natural traffic. So you can do, like number 3, most authors will do marketing and promotion to drive traffic, and that's something you can do, but you have to keep doing it, because as soon as you stop marketing or advertising, the sales dry up, which is the problem, because you don't want to be spending all your time marketing. You want to be writing more books so you have more products out on Amazon. So the way I've done things differently is to build a really big email list and then drive traffic to my site with specialized content. When I say content marketing, that just means I'm using specific pieces of content that attract my audience and show up when they search for things so that they can find me easily and find my books easily. And finally, just a final point about secret number 1. If you're resistant to the idea of writing books that sell, everything is going to be limited by the demand for the type of books that you want to write. This is just kind of a numbers thing. So if you write certain books that have a bigger readership, for example, in my genre, I write young adult fantasy. So one of the first books I wrote was a Mermaid book, a young adult fantasy novel, and I found out I should have done all my research carefully before. I thought I would do mermaids because it's not quite as competitive, so it would be easier for me to rank higher. And that's true, it was, but I was still limited because mermaids aren't actually that popular compared to, for example, vampires. So vampires sell 10 to 1. So if I have more vampire books, I could sell 10 times more books just because there are more readers who want to read vampire books. So knowing what your readers are actually interested in and what they're typing in, what they're searching for, that's really important for not only positioning, but also for figuring out what you want to write next. Maybe you've already written some books and that's great, but you're not sure what to write next. If you want to be making money with your books, you need to consider how much demand there is for the type of book that you want to write. When I first started publishing, I was mostly just using nonfiction books to attract my target readership. So I did a lot of perma-free deals, low pricing. I never really focused on getting the books to stick or getting a lot of reviews or marketing really hard. I just I wanted my nonfiction books to be out there and to be attracting enough clients to keep me in business, but I didn't really work very hard for income, which is a totally different thing. So when I decided to try to go full-time as an author and write fiction, which is something I've always been really interested in but never could commit to, because it's difficult to finish a book and then also hope to make money with it. But I really wanted to go hard, and so within about a year, I did a lot of publishing experiments. So I tested a lot of things out to find out what really works. And then recently, just in 2017, I really committed to using what I found works and building up my income quickly. So this is kind of what things look like right now. It's May, and I've made this much in Kindle so far. Most of that is just coming from about 3 books. And here's my chart. So I've been publishing since like 2012. Before that, actually, but this chart is just 2012. So I made a little bit of money, but not very much. When I first started publishing at the beginning of 2016, I made a little bit of money, but then I gave all my books away perma-free for about 6 months, which is, that's why you see this big income drop. And part of the reason I did that was because I wanted to build up an audience rather than make money. So I wasn't focused on sales at all. I just wanted to put my books out there and build up an email list and build up a platform, which I did. And then I was also doing a lot of content marketing and list giveaways to build up a big list. So then in the beginning of 2017, I switched a bunch of these perma-free books to paid. I'm still kind of in the process of doing that. And actually this one is a little bit outdated, but you can see I was up at like 4,000, 6,000, 5,000, and then I had a big month last month, which was about 7,000. And this month, I've made about as much. So without very much marketing, because I really didn't do any promoting this month, and I didn't release any new books. My plan was to release a new book. Often people talk about the 30-day cliff. I haven't found that to be a problem for me because my traffic isn't tied to Amazon. I build my own organic traffic. I have my own email list, so I can launch a book really well. And even if I don't launch a new book, the books that I have tend to stick really well on Amazon. So in the next slide, I'm going to show you a little bit about what like a normal book launch looks like. But first, I want to mention one thing that's really important. People don't talk about it enough, and this is what not to do. And it's kind of exactly the thing that most authors do, which is tell everyone you wrote a book and they should buy it. The reason this is not a good idea is because to get sticky on Amazon, to keep your books really visible, your also bots are really crucial. So that means the people who have bought your book need to be people who read other books in your genre, so that when they buy your book, you will populate also bots, so that below your book and in a whole bunch of other people's books, when people are looking at someone else's books that are similar to yours, you want your book to show up under their also bots. And that's not something you should really leave to chance. You should be very deliberate about deciding whose also bots you want to show up in, what kind of books are similar to yours, and really going after those slots and trying to make your book appear with those other books that are selling well in your genre, that attract the same readership. So the problem with telling everyone to go buy your book is that if you just get your friends and family to support you by buying your book, they're not going to be the target readers of your actual genre. And so Amazon isn't going to know what's going on. They're going to see all these sales, but they're coming from random people. So they'll kind of try to guess who might like your book based on that data, and it will be totally wrong. So they'll promote it to some other people who are like the people who are buying your book, which aren't actually the right readers of the type of book that you've written. And so they'll stop promoting it. They'll try for a little bit and they'll see that nobody's buying your book. It's not converting at all. So they'll stop showing it because Amazon wants to make sure they're showing products that people are buying. So for whatever reason, if they're trying to show your book and it's not converting because you've told them to look for the totally wrong audience, that's really going to hurt you. It's going to, not only will your also bots be depopulated or have really random weird books in there that aren't going to help you, but also you're teaching Amazon that your book doesn't convert well, and that's going to be a problem. But I am going to talk about, this is kind of a simple launch that most people do. This is what most people will tell you to sell more books. And this is, realistically, most of this stuff is actually okay. It can work for you, but there's also some liabilities and dangers. So number one, you want to send out review copies. That means you have to have your book up early. Generally, you can put up a book on pre-order and then make your print book available so people can review the print book. It will show up on the ebook, and then you can send out review copies. That's kind of a nice way to do it so that you can launch hard and already have reviews. If you don't do it that way, you still need to send out ARC copies using maybe InstaFreebie or BookFunnel to your email list, but you have to wait till it's published, and then you have to tell them to go leave reviews quickly, and you need to get the reviews posted before you can do a launch. So you can't really do a hard launch. You have to do a soft launch, which is what I usually do anyway. For me, I think you should kind of launch slowly and test things out, make sure things are working, get your reviews up, and then do a bigger launch. You would do some advertising and promotion, which could be like Facebook ads or Amazon ads, AMS ads. You could also be doing, there's lots of other things you can be doing for promotion, like list trades. There's a bunch of 99-cent or free promotion sites that list book deals. That's kind of that can be a really nice way to promote. I'm not going to go big into promotion here. Generally, advertising on Facebook doesn't really work very well anymore, but it can work if you have lots of books or you have a big series. But even if you're trying to like get downloads to a free book, it's difficult to make Facebook advertising worth the money. So generally you want to do things like things that employ email lists. So trading with other authors, you promote their book to your email list and they do the same for you. If they have a big email list, that can work pretty well. You want people who have big email lists or platforms, kind of like, what's it called? Kind of like BookBub. BookBub is the biggest book promotion site that has their own email list, but there are a bunch of smaller sites kind of like that. You can ask other people to share it. You can do a 99-cent launch campaign and list on promo sites. That's generally what most people do on launch, because you do want, like I said, a lot of sales, but you want it to be targeted. So you only want people to buy it who are really the right kind of reader. So if you advertise the promo on promo sites and you list it in the right categories, there's a good chance that people who buy it and pay 99 cents for it, they'll only pay for it if they're really interested in those kind of books. If you sell about 100 books, which I think should be your goal on launch, then you'll probably get up to #1 in your category if you've chosen your categories well. So you need your rank higher than the #1 slot to get #1. You'll get like an orange bestseller sticker on your book for a little while. You can take screenshots of that. You can call yourself a best-selling author, which is great. The problem with all of that is that 100 sales really isn't that many. Even if you get 100 sales, Amazon will kind of they'll try to get the ball rolling. They'll try to keep showing you to similar people based on who's been buying your book. But if your Amazon page isn't converting very, very well, if you don't have an amazing book cover, great reviews, and a really convincing blurb that lures readers in, captures their attention, and then convinces them to buy the book. If you don't have all of that stuff working, your page isn't going to convert very well, and your rank's going to drop really quickly. And the only way to save a dropping rank is to get kind of desperate and to keep trying to do more and more promotions and campaigns. It gets really exhausting. You can't keep your rank steady. That's the problem that most authors face. Like, it's not that hard to launch pretty well and hit #1, but it is hard to keep your rank high consistently and get it to earn money month after month. So now we're going to move on to some of the things that I actually do to overcome this problem. So I'm going to show you three of the things that I'm really doing to make my books stick on Amazon to keep selling. And then I'll go through the slides of these 3 things, and then I'll show you actually how I set up the giveaways online, what kind of tools I use, some of the content that I'm building, and how all of that stuff works. I think it's really important to see it rather than just talk about it. But first you want to find your top 10. So you can't really market your books until you know who you're positioning them towards. So you need to know who, like 10 best-selling authors, or they can be indie or traditionally published, but you want authors ideally who will work with you. So like when you talk about them and share their books, when you do promotion, they'll also share, they'll retweet, they'll share to their list. It's really difficult to get other people to talk about you and share your content unless you're talking about them. But if you do talk about them and make really nice content about them, it's pretty easy to get them to share. So you want to find 10 authors who have the readership that you covet. So the readers who are reading those books will probably also like your books. You want to identify them. You want to look at the keywords and categories that they're using, what categories they're in. You want to write all that stuff down and make a list of the authors, the book names, the categories, and the keywords, and kind of make this chart of this is where I'm going to target. It's important for, if you're using Amazon ads or Facebook ads, you need to be able to know who to target. Even on BookBub, if you advertise on BookBub, you have to choose which authors have the readership that you want so that you can put your content in front of them. So that's pretty important. And then what I will do once I have that list is I'll make a piece of content that's like the top 10 young adult fantasy mermaid books for teens, something like that, with a lot of keywords and something, the bigger you can go, the better. So like one piece of content with 10 authors is fine. Some of my better content will be like 37 young adult mermaid books. If it has more books, that's more authors who might share the piece of content. So that's more links back to your content. It will rank better. The reason you do these, there's several reasons, but one, you are telling other authors that you are promoting them and that you are building valuable content for them. That makes them more likely to share it. So it's a way of getting them to know who you are and to feel good about you because you're promoting their book. You can do this also with when you do this, like you can say my favorite or amazing mermaid books for teens, something with a positive qualifier so that authors will feel grateful for being included in this list that you've made for them. That makes it pretty easy. So they're going to like you more because you're talking about them, and also they might share that to your list so that their readers will come and see that they've been named, one of the 37 top books in this genre. That's a good way to get consistent long-term traffic. So you do that to build relationships with authors and to hopefully get some eyeballs from their readers, but also because so few fiction authors are doing anything like this, it's pretty easy to rank well in Google. So if you type best young adult mermaid books for teens or something like that on Google, it's likely you'll find my website, my article, but it's also likely, because I've been doing this for every genre. So if you type in, best science fiction books for teens, best books with ghosts or pirates or whatever, I have pieces of content for all those keywords so that readers will find my content, look through the list, and then hopefully while they're on my site, they'll see my book or they'll sign up for my offer or something like that. So number 2 is a targeted list building with giveaways. So you've found your 10 books. Now you want to do a giveaway, giving away those books. You don't have to ask for permission from other authors to give away their books. You're buying the books. Some authors will do it collectively and they'll have everybody donate a book and they'll pool money for advertising and everything. I don't think that's a good idea because usually in those types of giveaways, they'll also split the list. So they'll have like 20 authors and they'll do one giveaway, but at the end, everybody will get the email list. So the readers will kind of get spammed by 20 authors and they're likely to unsubscribe to all of them just because there's so many emails coming at once. And that's really going to lessen whether they actually take time to read what you're saying. So when I do it, I want to have control of the giveaway. So I'm the only one with the list, but I also focus on promoting those other authors that I've included. But you organize a giveaway. I'll show you how to set that up later and what that looks like. And then once you have a giveaway, you can use targeted Facebook ads to reach readers and get them to sign up to your giveaway. I found giveaways work a lot better than free books. If you advertise something on Facebook, most of the time they're just likely to like it or comment it without even clicking the link. But if it's a good giveaway with a big prize, they're more likely to take action and actually sign up and sign up to your email list. So that's the point of doing giveaways, is to get them on a list and then hopefully convert them into fans later by offering them a free book or something. But the first part is getting a big list. So there are people who say that getting a big list isn't really that important anymore because like authors have, because I've been talking about these giveaways for at least a year, and it's become pretty, by authors who know what they're doing, it's become more and more common. So there's a lot of these going on right now. There's even some services for authors that organize giveaways, which can seem pretty good because, you pay $50 or something to get in. They offer a big prize. Everybody donates a book, and then you get 3,000, 5,000 subscribers at the end of it. That can be a good deal. But like I said, if all of those readers who signed up for the free stuff are getting lots of emails from lots of different authors, they're likely to unsubscribe. Those may not be really good subscribers, because they may not be targeted fans of your specific genre, and they may just be freebie stickers, which happens especially if you offer just like a Kindle gift card or cash money. Basically, anybody can sign up and they just want the free stuff, and they might not even like your genre or be interested in your book. So that's what you try to avoid by doing a smaller giveaway. It doesn't have to be 10 books. It could be like 5 books. You could just set up a giveaway and buy those 5 books and send them to the reader. You can just buy them straight from Amazon and send them to the reader directly. The reason I like to do 10 is because you still need to work a little bit harder to get the attention of readers. So I would want to do a mix of maybe 5 indie published books that I know are going to be really active in supporting my giveaway, and maybe 5 really major traditionally published books that readers recognize by famous authors that I also hope will share. So if I build a really nice looking giveaway page and I'm giving away a copy of their book, I can usually get them to share. For example, I'll send a tweet and I'll tag the author and I'll say, I'm giving away a copy of this book by this author with a @ tag because I really loved it, or it's one of my favorite books, or something like that. I don't think it'll work if you tag every author at the same time with one tweet, but every day I could send a different tweet tagging a different author, and it's likely that they will see my giveaway, see that I've said nice things about them, and then retweet to share to their audience. So ideally, you want to try to build an email list of 1,000 targeted readers who like your genre or topic. I think you should aim big. I think you should aim for 1,000 because remember, these are going to be strangers. So when they first get on your list, you still need to engage them, offer them a free copy of the book, turn them into fans, and then hope for reviews. I don't actually use my email list for sales. I don't try to sell my books to my email list. I just want them to like my books and be supporters, so I can get a lot of reviews up quickly. So I actually use my list just to get a lot of downloads, or so they can spread the word, or that they can review the books so I can get a lot of reviews up more quickly. I'll talk more about free books later, but generally I think what I've heard is that when you get free downloads, they don't quite count as much as an actual sale, but they count about as much as 10%. So I think getting 1,000 downloads of a free book in Kindle Unlimited is about the same as getting 10 sales, in the way that it affects your sales rank and the way that your book sticks on Amazon. So for me, rather than working really, really hard to try to get 100 sales at 99 cents, which is only worth, $30 or something, and probably costs a couple $100 in the amount of advertising or promotion that you need to get those 100 sales, I'd rather give away 1,000 copies without spending any money, without doing any work, getting about the same boost in visibility and rank, and then trying to sell the book to new readers who find the book because now it's more visible. But I would build a list to 1,000 to start with, and then I would try to offer them a free book and hope a few hundred of those stick around and review the book. If you can get 1,000 core fans, and this isn't something you can do with just one giveaway. Like if I built a list of just 1,000 readers, maybe 100 would become core fans, which would mean maybe I'd get 10 reviews. Because even with core fans, even if you send them an ARC copy or a free book, it can still be hard to get reviews. It's kind of a numbers game. So I actually built my list to 10,000 so that I could get 1,000 core fans, so that I could get 100 reviews when I launched. Now my list is up to about 35,000. I try to weed it out, so I do a lot of giveaways. And then if people aren't responsive or they're not opening my emails, I'll cut them from the list and I'll do more giveaways to kind of keep building it up. So you do need to be aware that they won't all be active, engaged fans, but it's kind of a numbers game. So you need to put a lot of people into your email list and then get rid of the ones that you don't convert into actual fans. But also it's your responsibility to convert them to actual fans. So you need to make sure you're attracting the right readers and you have a book that really satisfies them, and also that you're keeping them engaged. I usually use a combination of King Sumo and Gleam. Those are 2 giveaway apps that I'll show you a little bit later. They both work to get people on your list. And then before the giveaway ends, the nice thing about these giveaways is that they encourage viral sharing. So they sign up, but then it gives them the offer to earn more entries if they share and get friends to sign up. So you need to be reminding them once they're on your list, like every week, and especially before the giveaway ends, you need to remind them it's the last chance to share and get more entries, so you can win the grand prize. So it's not just like you can do Facebook ads and get 1,000 people on your list because they signed up to the giveaway, and then if you keep reminding them to share, you may reach a couple more thousand people just because they are sharing with their friends and they're getting more people to sign up. That's really why giveaways are so powerful, because they have that network effect to build your list to more people. And they're usually more fun. Like if you ask people to share your free book or share your book launch or something like that, that's kind of a big ask because people don't want to share that kind of stuff with their friends. But if you're offering something fun, like here's a chance to win 10 books, that's an easy thing for people to share because it has value for everybody. And so the last point, this is kind of the same, it's the same content, but I take this content and I make free long-term organic traffic by putting it up on my blog, getting a lot of authors to share it. These are kind of some basic rules to blogging. So I know that a lot of authors resist blogging because they don't know what to write about, or they feel like they're not getting any traffic anyway, or it's not converting directly to sales, so they don't really get what the point of it is. But you need to be writing content around the keywords that people are looking for. So if you don't know what those keywords are, that's your first problem. You have to know what readers of your genre are actually looking for, and they go into Amazon, they go into Google. You need to know what they're typing in. There's tools to figure that out. I use KDP Rocket now, but there are other keyword search tools where you can learn what people are actually searching for, and then you need to build content that has those keywords in the title. But I should also say it needs to be content that people will link and share to. So it can't just be garbage or things that are just like, there are people who just write short listicles to hit keywords, but there's not actually any content there. You need to actually provide value and make solid posts. It's better to write one good post a month that gets a lot of traffic for a long time rather than, putting out one a week or a couple every day that are kind of just garbage. I'm actually only doing one post every 2 or 3 months now because I make even bigger joint promotions or content that I know is going to get a lot of shares and a lot of traffic. I'll show you some of those in a minute. And then once you have content on your site, you want it to show up in Google by getting more links to it. So it's fine if you do a list of the 10 best-selling or the 10 best books in your genre and you get a lot of people to link to that and share it. That's a good start. If you can get links to your content from other relevant high authority sites, easy ones are like YouTube or SlideShare because you can just make an account. You can do it even with Medium. You can do it with, there's a lot of sites. Huffington Post, not exactly, because with HuffPo you have to actually apply for an account, but there's a lot of sites where you can just sign up and post content. LinkedIn owns SlideShare, but I think in LinkedIn you can also post pulses or something they're called. I don't use that very often, but the point is, if you have a piece of content, it's going to be ranked against anybody else with a similar piece of content. There aren't actually many pieces of content like this, especially for fiction, because most fiction authors aren't doing this kind of stuff. So if you have a piece of content and then you point some links back to your content from other high authority sites and you get some other people to share your content, there's a good chance it's going to show up pretty high in Google, which means if you can get, in the first page of Google every time anybody is searching for books in your genre, your content will come up. That's free promotion, free marketing, and that can be around for years until somebody else makes better content that outranks yours. So another way to do it is to do events or cross promos, where you basically say, you get 10 or 20 other authors and you say, we're all going to put our books for free or for 99 cents at this time, and then you host that offer, that event on your page. That's pretty good. I see a lot of people doing it for Instant Freebie now. Instant Freebie is a place where you can upload your free book. It's a great way to get new subscribers and new readers. So you as the organizer can just say, I'm going to feature all of these books on my site. Everybody else just has a requirement to share the promotion. And that helps because not only are you getting 20 other authors to share your content, which has your book featured in it, so that all of those readers can find your book, but those authors are all also linking to content that's hosted on your blog, which means your whole blog is going to see a lot of benefits, more traffic, and more better SEO, better search engine results or optimization, because you want to be earning those kind of links back to you, and you want to be earning them from other relevant sites. So if you get other authors in your genre to be linking to you from their social media accounts, from their blogs, that's all very helpful for you. That's the kind of content you need to be making. So I'm actually going to show you now some of the content that I've made, some of the giveaways that I've set up, and the software and the tools that I use, so that you can actually get a better picture of what I actually do when I talk about this stuff. So here's a pretty typical giveaway I've set up with King Sumo Giveaways. This is one of the giveaway apps that I use a lot, and it looks like this. I have two fiction blogs. One is the YA Shelf, which is a genre-specific blog that's shared with a lot of other authors in my genre. I've put together the Alliance of Young Adult Authors, so they're able to post content on the Young Adult Shelf, and they also are able to use King Sumo Giveaway for free because I have it installed on that site, which is a way that I can provide value for my community. This is actually ended, but I changed it. I changed the deadline so that you can see kind of how it works. I would have a lot of books. I actually do more than 10. I have, I don't know how many books, 28 books here. And this was already, I made a post with these and I set up this giveaway first, and then I saw that Lauren Kate was promoting the Fallen movie. Let's see, her cover is probably in here somewhere. Lauren Kate is a big young adult author. One of my books is, or a lot of my books are kind of modeled or inspired by her book, so she's definitely my target audience. So all I did was rebrand it a little bit and say that I'm also giving away this cool feather bracelet and this awesome feather wing. So I wanted this to really appeal to people who like the book Fallen, who is the author of Fallen, Lauren Kate. So I made it really kind of focused around her, and that worked really well because I told her about it. I think on Facebook she mentioned something like, I follow her on Facebook, so she mentioned like, here's a pair of awesome wings. It was for the movie premiere, so people were dressing up to go to the movie premiere of Fallen, and she asked like, what are you wearing? So I said, we're giving away a pair of these wings in this competition, and she shared it on Facebook, on her Facebook page, and she also retweeted it. So she has like 500,000 followers or so. She's a pretty big deal, and that was nice. So then my giveaway gets in front of her audience, but then I can also tell all these other authors, we just got featured by Lauren Kate, which makes me look better as the organizer. But basically the way King Sumo works is they just answer the question and then enter their email. Oops. After you enter your email, then it gives you, that didn't work, but usually it gives you a prompt to share it on Twitter or Facebook right away, but they're already in the email list, so you can remind them to do that later. If you send people back to this page now, once they've already registered, whenever you send them back to this giveaways page, it will automatically redirect to their personal share links so that they'll always see the same thing that they've already entered, and then they'll get their links to keep sharing. And then after the giveaway is finished, you can go back to your blog and go to King Sumo Giveaways. I can look at all giveaways, and then I can just see the one that I want. It's been a while actually, so it's here, and I can view all the contestants. I can manage the giveaway and see all the emails and everything. So that's basic, like that's pretty basic what I do. This I also say you can learn more about these books on this page. And this is the YA Shelf original post that I set up. So I say, it was originally the best paranormal romance books for teens. That's it. So I had a list of all of these books that I featured in the giveaway. Then I told all these authors about it so they can share the content. These all have links to their Amazon pages. This is a really good long-term piece of content because a lot of people will share it. It'll show up well in search results. So up here, I think I have best books for teens, and I've organized some of these. I didn't do this very well. I should have put all the pictures here as well. But this is just a way that I get a little bit of organization. And so I have Victorian young adult books. I actually have a virtual assistant who's building a lot of this stuff for me. So now she's doing like 2015 best books for teens, 2016 best books for teens. Anyway, I put a lot of this stuff out here. So here's another one on my other fiction blog. This is just my personal author blog. And I have 32 magical mermaid novels for young adult readers who enjoy paranormal romance. It's a lot of keywords in there. And I did the same thing, only this time I tagged the authors on Twitter, and some of them retweeted or sent a message about it, and then I could just embed their tweet talking about my giveaway on the giveaway page, which adds some more credibility, because a lot of these are pretty big authors who write young adult, and then I have a list of all the mermaid books. So now when you go to Google and you search for best young adult mermaid books for teens, my article shows up pretty well. This is number 4 on the first page of Google results. So anybody searching for young adult mermaid books would have a pretty good chance of finding my content. And then when they click over to my site, they can look over this post, and they might be distracted by my offer or some of the other books I'm working on in the sidebar. So here's a pretty typical giveaway I've set up with King Sumo giveaways. This is one of the giveaway apps that I use a lot, and it looks like this. I have 2 fiction blogs. One is the YA Shelf, which is a genre-specific blog that's shared with a lot of other authors in my genre. I've put together the Alliance of Young Adult Authors, so they're able to post content on the Young Adult Shelf, and they also are able to use King Sumo giveaway for free because I have it installed on that site, which is a way that I can provide value for my community. This is actually ended, but I changed it. I changed the deadline so that you can see kind of how it works. I would have a lot of books. I actually do more than 10. I have, I don't know how many books, 28 books here. And this was already, I made a post with these, and I set up this giveaway first, and then I saw that Lauren Kate was promoting the Fallen movie. Let's see, her cover is probably in here somewhere. Lauren Kate is a big young adult author. One of my books is, or a lot of my books are kind of modeled or inspired by her book, so she's definitely my target audience. So all I did was rebrand it a little bit and say that I'm also giving away this cool feather bracelet and this awesome feather wing. So I wanted this to really appeal to people who like the book Fallen, who is the author of Fallen, Lauren Kate. So I made it really kind of focused around her, and that worked really well because I told her about it. I think on Facebook she mentioned something like, I follow her on Facebook, so she mentioned like, here's a pair of awesome wings. It was for the movie premiere, so people were dressing up to go to the movie premiere of Fallen, and she asked like, what are you wearing? So I said, we're giving away a pair of these wings in this competition, and she shared it on Facebook, on her Facebook page, and she also retweeted it. So she has like 500,000 followers or so. She's a pretty big deal, and that was nice. So then my giveaway gets in front of her audience, but then I can also tell all these other authors we just got featured by Lauren Kate, which makes me look better as the organizer. But basically the way King Sumo works is they just answer the question and then enter their email. Oops. After you enter your email, then it gives you, that didn't work, but usually it gives you a prompt to share it on Twitter or Facebook right away, but they're already in the email list, so you can remind them to do that later. If you send people back to this page now, once they've already registered, whenever you send them back to this giveaways page, it will automatically redirect to their personal share links so that they'll always see the same thing that they've already entered, and then they'll get their links to keep sharing. And then after the giveaway is finished, you can go back to your blog and go to King Sumo giveaways. I can look at all giveaways, and then I can just see the one that I want. It's been a while actually, so it's here, and I can view all the contestants. I can manage the giveaway and see all the emails and everything. So that's basic, like that's pretty basic what I do. This I also say you can learn more about these books on this page. And this is the YA Shelf original post that I set up. So I say it was originally the best paranormal romance books for teens. That's it. So I had a list of all of these books that I featured in the giveaway. Then I told all these authors about it so they can share the content. These all have links to their Amazon pages. This is a really good long-term piece of content because a lot of people will share it. It'll show up well in search results. So up here, I think I have best books for teens, and I've organized some of these. I didn't do this very well. I should have put all the pictures here as well. But this is just a way that I get a little bit of organization. And so I have, Victorian young adult books. Actually, I have a virtual assistant who's building a lot of this stuff for me. So now she's doing like 2015 best books for teens, 2016 best books for teens. Anyway, I put a lot of this stuff out here. So here's another one on my other fiction blog. This is just my personal author blog. And I have 32 magical mermaid novels for young adult readers who enjoy paranormal romance. It's a lot of keywords in there. And I did the same thing, only this time I tagged the authors on Twitter, and some of them retweeted or sent a message about it, and then I could just embed their tweet talking about my giveaway on the giveaway page, which adds some more credibility because a lot of these are pretty big authors who write young adult, and then I have a list of all the mermaid books. So now when you go to Google and you search for best young adult mermaid books for teens, my article shows up pretty well. This is number 4 on the first page of Google results. So anybody searching for young adult mermaid books would have a pretty good chance of finding my content. And then when they click over to my site, they can look over this post and they might be distracted by my offer or some of the other books I'm working on in the sidebar. One of the other giveaway apps that I use is called Gleam. And it's usually good. King Sumo is really good just for getting email subscribers because it's really simple. And it has one fixed landing page. Sometimes if you put an embedded, like Rafflecopter usually doesn't look as nice. Gleam looks a little bit nicer. It also has its own landing page, but it has more options. So if you want people to do more than just sign up for your list, Gleam is a useful application. I usually use King Sumo first to get them on my list, and then Gleam for other things like getting them to follow me on social media or on BookBub. Here are a couple things that I have going right now. These are a little bit different because these are on a bigger scale. Usually I do giveaways of books, but for example, this is a box set that I'm in, so we're promoting a 99-cent box set. And this is an offer just for, I'll show you what it looks like on the landing page. This is just for other authors who might want to get our email list shared. So what that means is because there's like 20 of us and we all have a pretty big email list, if another author of sci-fi or fantasy shares their book with their email list, we will all share their book with our email list, which is a 300K list basically. So it's we're offering a pretty big email blast for other authors who want to promote our box set. That's kind of a nice thing about working together in a box set, is that you have a lot more to offer other authors in your community. You can do some creative things to promote your books. So what I've done is just, we have some information on these pages where they can find out more about the offer. These are some extra bonuses that we're giving away. And then they can just enter by sharing to their newsletter. And this has more instructions. And then I say basically after they've shared, they can put the link of their newsletter that they sent out in here so that we know they've actually done it. And then there's a way to refer friends for extra entries, so they can also earn a little bit more by sending other authors to this giveaway. The other one is a young adult summer scavenger hunt. This is also a pretty big. I've been stopping with the smaller stuff and moving on to bigger things. So this is a young adult scavenger hunt with 140 other young adult authors. Readers can win 500 in Amazon credit and a bunch of free books. So on this page on the website, I have the rules and I have a list of all the authors, and readers will have to go down this list, find all the secret keywords on all of our sites, and then put it together to complete the secret story. And once they complete the secret story, they can put their final story. It's 140 words. It makes up a little story. They can enter to win the grand prize. I had to use a Google form because there wasn't room here to complete the story on Gleam. They don't have an option for putting in a bunch of text like that. The other thing that Gleam can be really useful for example, is a BookBub follow, because you can add more than one entry option. So I could add like 20 different authors, and it could say follow each author on BookBub to win one big prize. So 20 authors could, you could do a Twitter follower blast or social media, Facebook follower blast or BookBub or whatever. Every author would share one giveaway. You'd have one big prize, and all the readers would just have to do things like follow people or retweet something. So Gleam can be really useful for that. Because I use giveaways a lot, and there's some features that I really wanted that I had trouble finding. Also because I recommend, this is the way that authors should be promoting books, by building lists, but King Sumo costs a couple $100. Gleam I think is like $30 a month or something, which adds up. So if you use it full time, it's $300 a year. I wanted to find a different application that I could use for giveaways and that authors can use. So I had this one developed, which is Bookfetti. And it has some things that work and some things that don't, but I'll show you kind of what it looks like. This is how things look on the inside. I'll show you one of my giveaways. It looks like this. And the reasons that I like this app, for one, it has this awesome video background. It's a pretty simple, clean giveaway. There's not a lot of extra stuff, so it's really just like one landing page. Also, this app has a countdown timer, which is really big. I disabled it because this particular giveaway I'm actually using for lead generation, so I'm not using it. Normally you want a quick countdown timer that's ending soon, but I've decided that I want to test out for the opt-in offer at the back of my books. I want to use a giveaway. So instead of saying sign up to get another book, I'll have this image in the back of my book, and I'll say sign up to win a full omnibus collection of the series along with this awesome metal glove. I like to do things like this because if you just give away Amazon credit or Kindle credit, you'll get a bunch of freebie seekers. So you have to give away something that's really cool. This video looks weird just because I pulled it from YouTube, and most people won't stay on this page long enough to see the end of the video. They'll just see the clouds, so it's not really a big deal. But I'll give away something really cool like this that's valuable and attractive to my readers, but that wouldn't really be attractive to anybody else. And then it just has one simple connect to Facebook button. So if you click this, it automatically signs you up to Facebook, and then it goes here. So now you can copy this, share. This is like your share link. So readers, once they sign up, they've already been signed up to my email list. It was that quick. Now they can grab this custom link, or they can share to Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. So that's kind of built in and easy. I think it's a lot faster than having something as an offer on your website, and I think it'll convert a lot better. I think people who come to this page, again, they'll just sign up. I may go back and find a different video because that's kind of annoying that it has that background. I'll show you another one I set up, which looks like this. Especially for my genre, which is young adult fiction, it just looks a little cooler. It's a little more exciting. In this one, I left the countdown. So it says when the giveaway is ending, and it has a countdown. So it says hurry, which increases urgency. And then I have a nice video background. In this one, I added the tagline or the hook. If you're giving something big away, like a package, I would say, win these 10 books. But because I use this giveaway to help promote a book launch. So I wanted the hook because some people who found this site wouldn't be looking for free books. They would actually be they wouldn't be looking for a giveaway. They'd be looking for a book. So I want to convince them to sign up to win my book. So I have to hook their attention first. So the way I did this was basically like if you have a 99-cent sale, it's still really difficult to get people to share your 99-cent sale, but it's easier to get people to share to win a free book. So I can get other authors to win a free book and share this giveaway, and they might share it. Then people could sign up here to enter, or they could also just go straight to Amazon. I have this link here. Generally, you don't want to do this. It'd be better just to get them on your list and then try to sell them something better than to give them two options. Again, they just click. It's a one-click. It pulls the details from Facebook automatically. And then it reminds them that they can share the giveaway picture in case they missed it. And again, they can just copy this to the clipboard, or they can share on Twitter or Facebook. So that's an app that I'm going to start using more, especially for my lead gen offers. So in the back of my books, I want to send them straight to a giveaway because I think these pages will probably convert better than an opt-in form on your website with an offer, just because you can get distracted. If they go to your website, they might want to look around more, or they may get distracted and forget why they came. This giveaway, because it's really a simple app that looks pretty good. I think the conversion, and because it pulls from Facebook, so it's just a one-click email opt-in, I think the conversion will be higher, so it's going to work better for lead generation. So this is Bookfetti. This is something that I'm working on, and I'm going to package it together with another course just on like email marketing. So some of this stuff, but more how to build your email list and how to use MailChimp and how to get engagement. So how to like not just get them on your list, but actually turn them into fans who will buy your book or who will promote your book, because that's also really important. So I hope that you've found this video a little bit helpful. I hope I've shown you some ideas that most authors aren't using but actually work pretty well, both to build an email list but also to build content that's going to bring in a lot of traffic and make your website more visible and get more. If you get more organic traffic to your website, you're going to be able to send more of that traffic to your books, which is how you keep your books visible. I do a lot of other things to keep my books sticky on Amazon, a lot of things that include keywords and categories, and also anchor linking. If you have a popular blog, you can link certain keywords back to your book on Amazon and help it show up better in search results. That's kind of more advanced stuff I talk about in Guerrilla Publishing, which is one of my books. I actually have a course coming out on Guerrilla Publishing, but you can get the Guerrilla Publishing book for free on my website. It's creativity.com/Guerrilla Publishing, and I'm going to be putting out a new edition soon. It'll probably be about double the length because I've discovered a lot of things just in the last few months in regards to book marketing. And if you're interested in doing your own giveaways, you can sign up to King Sumo or Gleam, or if you want to use Bookfetti, which is my new one, you can look. It's at bookfetti.com. I believe I got the domain. There should be information about how to start using it on that page. Also, I think there's going to be a giveaway down below. So if you want to win a free copy of Bookfetti and the course on email list building, I'll put a link to that down below so you have a chance to win. So I would sign up for that and then also grab my free book. I hope this helps a lot. You can find me at Creativity. I talk a lot about book marketing in general, both fiction and nonfiction, and also stuff about online business or building a platform on both YouTube and Creativity. Thanks. Bye-bye.